Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mysterious Mr. Ryan and welcome back to Mr. Ryan's Week of Christmas. Ladies and gentlemen, we have finally made it. It is Christmas Eve. So I hope you're all looking forward to the big day tomorrow and have been enjoying the videos for the past few days. And don't worry, I have something very big planned for tomorrow. So stay tuned and make sure you're subscribed to keep an eye on that. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump straight in with a build. So, seeing as it's coming up on Christmas itself, I figured that probably a good idea was to work on a festive living room. So, let's go in with a nice simple living room build for today. So, let's start off with what shape to make this build. Okay, let's start off with probably 3 by 3. Probably by 3 is not a bad move, really. Let's make it 8, 2, 4, 6, 8. Something a bit like that. How do we feel about this? Let's move it back a notch. I don't have any great aversion to this. Let's pop in just a quick back wall here, just so I can get this build looking fabulous. Okay, so right, let's start off with the outside walls. So the outside walls, let's start off with a nice festive red. That's always a good start. And I'm thinking probably we're going to want a similar kind of red on the inside. That looks actually pretty good. Quite pleased with that. Okay, I think this is probably going to need to be the full height, which is pretty tall actually. Okay, let's put in a wood floor and we'll kind of go from there. So what kind of wood should we put in? Well, I quite like the elegant. What about that? Yeah, I actually quite like that. Does it come? No, it doesn't come in a different shade. Maybe we'll have to go with that. Okay, what we'll do is, if I spin this around, and let's go with that. We'll go with that, we'll see how we feel about it when the time actually comes. So let's start off then. In the corner, I'm going to want to put in a fireplace. So the fireplace itself, let's go with quite a dark colour. Maybe something a bit like that. That's, I don't know, it's on the way. Am I... No, I think it'll look better once I get a roof on it actually. Okay, so that's looking good. Let's make sure, let's get a TV above it. Let's get priorities sorted here. Where's the big flat screen TV? That's a sausage. Let's get a bit of gap between there so we can put some stuff on there. And we've got a nice bit of space over the top. So what I'm going to do, now this is a technique I've used in one of my previous builds, and I just want to let you guys know that it is still something that can be used. So what you can do is when you make yourself a chimney, a bit like this, what you'll find is that you can put stuff behind it and get a bit of a glow going on in here. Now there's a few ways of doing this. The way I adopt of doing this is to grab hold of the red lighting, and in here there's a red plumb bob. Now if you scale these up just a notch and just do a few of them in here, what you can end up with is, it's subtle, but you end up with a really nice glow, a really nice red glow. Now don't get me wrong, it's far from the best glow, but as you can see it gives that fireplace a nice little bit of something behind it. Obviously depending on what game mode you play, sometimes if you used to play like this you might barely see it. As you can see, you get a little bit of glow coming through that fireplace, so quite important I think nonetheless, and I think it's subtle, but I do actually think it's quite key, so going to stick with that in there. But bear this in mind that when you do actually come to download this lot, obviously this area at the back here will be missing because of the way the room uploads works with the Sims. So let's get a bit of light back in here then. So what I want to do is let's get a door on the front. Let's get everything sorted. So a nice big door, and we want that to be red, so we're going to flip it round so it's red on the inside, just like that. That looks good. And then what we need is we need to get some windows in here. Some nice big windows. So I'm thinking for big windows we're going to go with probably something like this. And then let's probably put a couple in there like that, and then what we can do is put some curtains and stuff in. So let's put a couple in like that, and what we can do is we can see about what curtains to put in, Let's grab decorations. What are my options? That's probably not a bad call, actually. We've got something a bit bigger than that. What about something like that? That's probably not bad. Let's move that up a notch if we can. Bit too high? Yeah, a bit too high. Let's bring that down. And let's do something a bit like that. I quite like that. That's nice. What about that? No, I think that's probably a pretty good set of curtains right there. Let's bring it round and we'll go put some curtains on this side as well. Bit like that. That looks good. And then what we need to do is get some lights in here. So let's light up this whole area, and I've already got the lights I know, which are these in gold. And then what we can do is put one of those in there, and let's put one in that corner part there, and that one there. And then what you do is a nice glow in each of these alcoves, and a nice one for the entrance hall. It's a little bit dim in these corners, but not dim enough to be unpleasant. But don't worry, we're going to light up this room a little bit more as well. So what I'm thinking then, we've got a TV here, so what we need is a nice sofa and stuff. So let's first put down a nice big rug. Nice big rug, very, very important. So let's grab that and let's put something down. Probably a bit like that's probably not a bad move. Yeah, I like that. Let's put sofa. What kind of sofa should we put in? Yeah, probably, again, I think red is probably going to be pretty present through this build actually. So let's put a nice big red sofa in there, and probably a couple of little red chairs either side as well wouldn't go amiss. So let's put one like that, and let's also put one like that as well. That looks good. Coffee table. A coffee table is the centerpiece of the living room, so let's put a coffee table in when I remember where they are. That's a bedroom, Ryan. Nice try. Okay. What about something like that? No, definitely not. Definitely not. Not even close to what we're looking for. Oh, this one looks a bit better. Let's go for that kind of wood there. Let's put something like that in there, and we can put a nice centerpiece in the middle. Let's grab a nice red plant for the center. That's the kind of thing we want. In red. Sorted. And then what we can do is grab a couple of these little tiny red bushes and put them either side of the centerpiece there, which will be, let's have a look at the decorations and see what we have on offer. Decorations. What do we have that's feeling pretty festive? Well, simple things is nothing exciting in there. Maybe some of the candles there could be quite nice in the middle. The Kwanzaa candles. Yeah, I think they're quite nice actually. I quite like the colour system. So let's put those in the middle there. Now, the living room coming along quite nicely. So let's put a nice little computer desk in the corner. And what my plan is to design the main living room, and then we can make it all festive and nice. So let's get a desk in here. Desk is very important. Desk. Let's put that in the corner here. Probably a bit like that. That looks good. Let's get a chair in there as well. That also looks good. And let's get a nice computer on the desk. Something a bit like that. And also, let's be honest, we're going to need some form of plant or something on the desk to keep it company. That single red rose could be nice. Yeah, I like that. Single red rose. Nice subtle touch. Let's get in there with some big tall bushes, some indoor plants. Let's put this one side. And there's the one with the ball on top. I know what it is. I just can't see it. Comment section is now screaming at me. And I don't blame them because I can't see it. Can't see it. It's a little black pot line circle on it. There it is. There it is. I found it. Comment section. You can stop typing your replies. I knew exactly where it was. I didn't know. Moving back on. Okay. So what would we? We're going with this dark wood, aren't we? Something a bit like that. So that's that bit sorted. That's looking quite nice. So as we move back around then, that's going to be where I'm going to put the Christmas tree. So let's put a nice big writing desk in here then. So we've got somewhere for the computer, now we need a really big writing desk with a nice big leather sofa. A leather chair even. And let's put a nice little lamp on it as well. I would like the actual desk lamp, which I need to remember what it looks like, because it looks like that. Let's put that in there like that. That's looking perfect. And let's grab a little plant as well. Have we got a little tiny plant I can put on there? A little tiny plant? Baby? Please? Anything? A little tiny plant? Something. That's quite a substantial plant, as is that. As is that. There's got to be a little tiny plant. That's a little tiny plant. We'll go with that. Okay, that's looking perfect. So the next step is to make this room look a bit more Christmassy. So let's start off. Let's go grab from the decorations, from the miscellaneous. Let's grab, there's got to be a nice big Christmas tree in here. We're looking for the nice big Christmas tree, and there is the one we want. So let's put that in there. Naturally, we're going to want some presents around it as well. So hopefully they should be in here somewhere. Somewhere for the presents. He says, I know they're in here. There they are. There's one set of them. So let's put those in there. They're a bit big actually. I would never thought I would have said that about presents, that they're a bit big. I want smaller presents than that. What do I call them? Decorative presents. Ah, that's a bit better. That's a bit more like it. So let's put some of those in here. Let's grab another set in a different colour. And let's grab another set in the blue. And let's grab something in the silver as well. There we go. And let's maybe get a purple set in there, just for good measure. Let's move the silvers out a bit, put the purple in there. That's looking brilliant. And let's put, where's that big stack of presents? I saw it. There it is. Can I fit that in the light blue in the corner behind? I can indeed. There we go. So now we've got a nice stack of presents in there. Let's make this room look a lot more Christmassy though, because at the moment it looks a little bit too tame for my liking. So, wall decorations. Let's begin at the beginning, because if we begin at the end, life makes no sense. I don't want to go with the white. The white is a bit too plain. So, question is, have we got the move objects cheat on? We have now. So what I want to do is grab these, and I'm going to do a nice layer of those, and these are going to go all the way around the build, just like that. That's good. So let's put another set of these on this corner here, and let's go along here. That's looking good. And let's grab a set of these, because now with these and the move objects cheat on, get a nice little glow going on, which looks perfect. And then what we can do is, as we move around here, so that's looking good there. As we move through, we've got some holly wreaths that we can put up. What else Christmassy have we got going on? So far, it's just going to be the holly wreaths. That's fine. Well, what we can do is put a couple of the holly wreaths either side of the top of the door here, up here like that. And then if we grab these, what we can do is put a couple of these between them. So let's grab them just like that, with a set of these hanging from it as well, which look good. And then what I need is a couple of these stencils. Now there's some Christmassy stencils, that's this thing, the snowflake decals. Because if I put a couple of them going down either side of the door, that's looking good. And then what we can do is put up some regular artwork as well. So let's start off with some nice artwork. What kind of things do we want? What kind of artwork would we like? Well, naturally we're going to want a family portrait going up here. And then what I can do is probably grab a set of them actually. Can I decorate them? No. Maybe over the top? Let's put that under there like that. At least that looks like it's sort of attached to it. Okay, yeah, I like that. What else do we have? That's not pictures. That's pictures. Let's move back around here. We need something to go in this gap. We need something preferably kind of big would be nice. Oh, I know. Where's the saxophone man. He's always good. And what can we do? Let's. Can we fit another one? Can we fit one of these on the bottom? We can indeed. And what about one over the top? Does one sit nicely over the top? It certainly does. I might actually do over the top rather than. That looks a bit better actually. Let's swap this out and let's see if we can put another one of those in. So we've got the saxophone guy. Let's put the. Oh, that's the wrong picture. Let's put that guy in. There we go. So now we've got that over there. And let's bring this round. So we won't necessarily have the dangling stuff all the way around, but we can at least then link this up quite nicely to the holly wreaths. So now we've got a nice circle ring of all of these hanging from the wall, which makes this look a lot more Christmassy. Oops. So let's grab that again, put that back. So really, the only thing missing is just a couple of things either side of this door. And then I think we're done, which is quite nice. What else do we have then? What else Christmassy do we have we can put in? I must have something Christmassy. I'm going to put another couple of holly wreaths in actually. Oh, there's a couple there. Let's do it. No, let's do it. Let's make this thing have a nice Christmas glow to it. Excellent. That's brilliant. That's looking very festive. Okay, yeah, I think I like that. I don't want to do too much more. I think I've already put a lot of Christmas in there, so I think I'm going to leave that one there. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have liked this video and you've liked the videos from the rest of the week, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button even on the video down below. It means so much to me if you do. Also, please don't forget to look, watch and share this video with your friends. Don't forget, as I've mentioned already, that there will be a big mystery build tomorrow, so keep your eyes peeled for that one. And if you're wondering what to watch now, don't forget to check out the rest of the videos in this series by clicking the eye in the top corner now. For now, ladies and gentlemen, though, my name is Mysterious Mr. Ryan. I wish you all the very best for tomorrow. Have a lovely day, a happy Christmas, and I'm out. I will see you later, and take care.